Do you all remember this TikTok couple who looked so couple goals? Haylee Baylee and Kyle Vieira? At first, everything seemed sweet, full of laughter and romance. But behind the camera, it turns out it wasn't just a bad relationship. It was a disgusting nightmare. Imagine this. Haylee had just undergone major surgery and couldn't even stand on her own. She called Kyle for help, and what was his response? He refused to come because it was already 9:30 p.m. and he preferred drinking at his friend's house. Not only that, Kyle was caught openly flirting with another woman right in front of Haylee. At a work event for a full 10 minutes, Kyle was the king of excuses. When Haylee discovered deleted messages with multiple women, Kyle dropped to his knees crying and gave the most ridiculous explanation imaginable. He said he had fallen onto his phone, which caused the messages to be sent. And even worse, he demanded that Haylee sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, for a TikTok relationship. This relationship wasn't about love, it was about money. Haylee admitted she paid off all of Kyle's credit cards, covered his birthday expenses, and even bought plane tickets so he could visit her. Meanwhile, she discovered thousands of explicit videos of Kyle with other women from his past on his phone. Videos she doubted those women even knew they were being recorded in. Usually the Hollywood narrative is about influencers chasing wealthy men, but in this case, it was flipped 180 degrees. Kyle Vieira allegedly latched onto Haylee not for love, but for lifestyle. Imagine this, after a year of dating, he didn't know Haylee's middle name, but he knew exactly when his credit card bills were due so Haylee could pay them. This wasn't just a toxic relationship. It was a modern-day parasite hiding behind aesthetic Instagram filters. However, the most reputation-damaging detail about Kyle wasn't the money. It was the thousands of explicit videos Haylee found on his phone. Netizens are now asking, who are the women in those videos? Is this a pattern of predatory behavior that's been going on for years? This discovery shifted the narrative from simply a terrible ex to a potential legal case. That's why Kyle panicked and sent the NDA. He wasn't protecting privacy, he was trying to bury evidence. Now that everything has been exposed, Haylee is on a mission to heal. But of course, in the world of gossip, there's always the question, why speak up now? Many believe Haylee finally exploded because she felt her safety was threatened by Kyle's obsession with control. By exposing everything, she's essentially building a wall of public protection. If anything happens to her now, the world knows who to blame. What has made netizens even angrier is Kyle's master-level gaslighting. Every time Haylee tried to confront his behavior, like when Kyle followed hundreds of random model accounts on Instagram, he twisted the facts. He made Haylee feel crazy, insecure, and too dramatic. The manipulation was so calculated that Haylee began doubting her own instincts. Kyle wasn't just draining her finances. He was trying to destroy her sanity to keep her under control. Remember their romantic dates that looked so luxurious? Recent investigations revealed that nearly every aesthetic moment was forced. Kyle reportedly got angry if Haylee didn't take photos or videos good enough to boost engagement on his personal account. Even during dates, Kyle was allegedly more focused on checking his social media statistics than looking into the eyes of the woman funding his entire life. This wasn't love, it was a transaction where Haylee was the investor and Kyle was a failed product constantly demanding more funding. Kyle's panic over the NDA wasn't without reason. Internet detectives suspect there's something much bigger than infidelity. A theory has emerged that Kyle feared Haylee would expose his network of friends who were allegedly involved in similar behavior. With thousands of videos found on his phone, there's concern that Kyle may be part of a very dark digital ecosystem within the influencer industry. That NDA wasn't just a breakup formality. It was an attempt to silence a key witness to a pattern of behavior that could end multiple careers at once. Now, digital karma seems to be at work. One by one, brands that once collaborated with Kyle are pulling away. Influencer friends who used to party with him have suddenly carried out silent mass unfollows. They don't want to be dragged into the fire consuming Kyle's reputation. Meanwhile, Haylee is reclaiming her voice. She's no longer the content assistant for a man who didn't value her. She's back to being the main character of her own life, leaving Kyle behind as the most toxic chapter she ever wrote. Kyle's connections to elite circles, including his presence around F1 environments, are now being viewed differently. Netizens are connecting the dots about how Kyle allegedly used Haylee's VIP access to build his own network. While Haylee was busy working and building professional connections, Kyle was reportedly using those opportunities to scout for new targets among models and invited guests. He wasn't just a financial parasite, he was a social parasite, feeding off Haylee's credibility to gain entry into worlds he couldn't access on his own. The big question now is, who else knew? In an industry as small as Hollywood and the LA influencer circle, it's hard to believe Kyle's behavior went unnoticed. There are rumors that some close friends had long seen the red flags but chose to stay silent to maintain group harmony or because they were tied to similar content contracts. Haylee's courage to speak out now seems to have shattered that wall of silence, and reportedly others are starting to feel uneasy, afraid their names might be dragged into the list of people who let this happen. Haylee is no longer playing defense. She's not just healing, she's transforming into a voice for others who have experienced similar situations. By dissecting the disturbing details of how Kyle controlled her phone, her money, and even her sanity, she's indirectly creating a manual on how to detect digital predators. She's turning the shame of staying for a year into a weapon to ensure men like Kyle never get another stage in this industry. Kyle may have thought an NDA could stop YouTube videos, but he can't stop the internet's memory. Every happy piece of content they once posted is now being reanalyzed by sharp-eyed netizens, spotting moments where Haylee's eyes looked lifeless or her smile seemed forced. Their digital footprint has become an autopsy report of a relationship that died long before it was publicly buried. Kyle Vieira didn't just lose his girlfriend, he lost the only asset he had, the ability to manipulate perception. Amid the intensifying storm, Kyle is reportedly engaging in mass ghosting. His once lifestyle-filled accounts have gone eerily silent, and there are rumors he's trying to escape the spotlight by going abroad. But internet detectives aren't letting go so easily. Reports claim that whenever he appears at luxury gyms or clubs in Europe, someone recognizes him and whispers, "Isn't that the guy who tried to extort Haylee Baylee?" He may be able to change his GPS location, but he can't change a face already branded as social media's #1 villain, asterisk. It's not just his reputation that's crumbling, his finances reportedly are too. Sponsors he once secured through the Haylee effect are allegedly terminating contracts one by one. They don't want to be associated with a man accused of storing thousands of secret videos without consent. Some major brands are even rumored to be demanding refunds or compensation, claiming Kyle violated the moral clause in their agreements. Without Haylee's credit cards supporting his lifestyle, Kyle now faces a harsh reality, becoming an ordinary person with enormous social debt. And this is what Kyle's legal team reportedly fears most, the domino effect. Haylee's bravery in speaking out appears to have opened the door for other alleged victims. On darker gossip forums, anonymous accounts have started emerging, claiming to be Kyle's exes from previous years. They describe identical patterns: manipulation, requests for money, and the same fear. If even one of them decides to join Haylee and take this to a more serious legal level, That NDA Kyle sent will be nothing more than a piece of worthless paper in front of a judge. In the end, Kyle Vieira is a real warning of what happens when someone tries to climb the social ladder by stepping on the shoulders of the person who loves them. He built his career on a foundation of lies and exploitation, and now the entire structure is collapsing on top of him. While Haylee continues to shine through her honesty, Kyle is trapped in the darkness of his own making, haunted by a digital footprint that will never grant him forgiveness. The world no longer sees him as an influencer. It sees him as a symbol of everything wrong with this industry. Ultimately, the Haylee Baylee and Kyle Vieira scandal isn't just about one failed relationship. It's a cracked mirror reflecting an influencer industry that often prioritizes aesthetics over ethics. Kyle tried to build his empire on lies, manipulation, and the exploitation of the person who loved him most. But he forgot one crucial thing in the digital era. The truth cannot be silenced with a single sheet of NDA paper. Haylee has chosen to stop being a victim and start being a voice for those who are too afraid to speak. This story may end here, but its impact on the industry is only just beginning. Because now we know behind every beautiful filter, there may be a bitter reality waiting to be exposed. Thank you for following this deep dive all the way to the end. If you believe this information matters and want to support honest investigative content like this, there's one small thing that means a lot to us. Press the subscribe button now. Don't let the algorithm hide the truth from you. We will continue uncovering what elites and influencers try to keep hidden behind the scenes. Turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know when secret documents or new recordings are leaked. Give this video a like and share it with your friends as a warning about the dangers of digital manipulators. What do you think? Will Kyle Vieira dare to resurface, or will he disappear from the internet forever? Write your theories in the comments. I read them all. Stay critical, stay alert. See you in the next investigation.